More about waist beads. Okay, so I wear waist beads 24/7 because I incorporate them in my magic, and I also.
Iskhambi ngake, iskhambi ngake phela ngake.
Hey guys, I'm giving you a welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, I hope you enjoy this video, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. As you can see down below, we are on the road to 200 subscribers, so please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get straight into this video. So today I'm going to be having an interesting video with you guys. I'm going to be talking about the truth of waist beads, the spiritual significance of waist beads, basically a conversation that no one is ready to have with you. As Africans, right, there are specific African beliefs and African practices that are based on paganism. And as a Christian, it is very important to leave those certain practices in paganism, because when you accept Christ, right, you leave everything behind, you take up your cross and you follow him. Do you get me? And when it comes to these specific practices, certain practices require you to worship specific deities, to submit to specific idols. Do you get me? And as a Christian, we know that you can't have two masters. You can't serve two masters. When you give your life to Christ, you are a new creation, so there's no need to conform to the world. Now, I'm speaking from a Christian perspective. However, it is still going to enlighten people that aren't Christians. Look at this, for example. We live in South Africa. We know sangomas, we know inyangas. These are basically traditional healers, and they basically summon spirits to heal and to perform specific rituals, right? They basically consult with spirits to have specific rituals, right? Now, these people wear specific beads, right? And these are specific colors and all of that. So as a Christian, would I go to a store and just randomly buy beads that inyangas and sangomas wear? No, because there's a spiritual reason as to why these people wear these beads. So why would I wear those beads if I don't indulge in the rituals or the practices that they perform? Why would I wear their beads? Do you get me? And that's the same attitude I have with waist beads. Wearing waist beads isn't just a fashion trend, but there's a lot of spiritual meaning behind many waist beads that people wear. That's why it's very important to know where your waist bead is coming from if you are going to be wearing it as a Christian. So one thing you guys should also know is that different spirits are summoned depending on the colors of the beads, right? Spells are casted onto the beads for different uses. There are demons that are summoned onto the beads, right? And to manifest through you. So there are certain demons that are summoned on the beads to manifest through you. Do you get me? That's why when certain girls get waist beads, they become more lustful, others become more suicidal, right? Because you take up the personality, you take up the character of the spirit that was summoned on the waist beads. And basically how they do this, right? Normally there's specific rituals they go under where they'll have to go to the river, they'll drench these beads into water, and then they're going to summon specific deities, they're going to summon specific demons to basically take over these beads. And then after they're done, they're going to go out and sell these beads, right? So it's very important for you as a Christian to know where your beads are coming from. Now I'm going to be going into the spiritual uses of waist beads, what these witches do, or why these witches give out waist beads, right? So the first reason why people wear waist beads when it comes to being spiritual is because they want protection. They use these beads to be protected from bad spirits, from bad omens. I don't understand how, but yeah, bad omens, bad spirits, bad energy. And they also believe that these beads can also sometimes protect them from their rapists. They also believe that some of these waist beads can put the rapist to death, right? Now, it's not specifically the waist beads, right? but it is the demon behind the waist beads that will be able to protect them from their rapist, right? When I read this, I was just like, rah. I was like, okay, that's interesting, you know. Another thing that people wear waist beads for is to keep their men faithful. Now, when I read this, I was just like, I don't think there's anything that you can do in this life or the next to make sure that your man is faithful, unless you use korobela. Unless you're using korobela on your man, I don't think there's anything that can bound your man from being faithful. Because one thing about men, especially worldly men, they will cheat on you. They will embarrass you. So yeah, when I read that, I was just like, okay, yeah. The next thing is that it can also be used to heal children. So if you are a mother and you have kids, one way in which it can heal your kids is if you take the waist beads and you place them on your kids. I was reading it on an article on Google. I'll put it somewhere here. Yeah, you just basically put your waist beads on your kids and it'll be able to heal your kids from like maybe a headache or any some sort of like illness, right? Because of the spirits behind the waist beads. Another thing that these waist beads can be used for is seduction, right? Now, when a siren spirit is working within you, what is going to happen is it is going to seduce this man, right? And then once you get this guy, you are going to be taking this guy's luck. You take his destiny, you dim his star. That's why you see that certain guys, once they get with a specific girl, like life never works out for them. Do you get me? Like they'll lose their business, their shipment drowned somewhere, wow, they lost everything. Like you just see that things aren't working for them anymore. That is because there's a specific spirit that is working on that guy's destiny, right? When you don't cover yourself with the Holy Spirit, you give the devil legal access to you. I don't know if you know that. Yeah. Another thing that the beads can be used for, it can be used as a contraceptive, right? Now it depends on the color of the beads and it depends as well on the spirit that was summoned on the beads, right? But there are specific beads that can be used as contraceptives. Now as a girl, you just buy beads from Shein. You don't know who made that beads to give it to Shein, but you're just going to buy those beads. And then you buy them, you wear them, and then later on within the line you realize you can't give birth, and then you start asking questions, hey, why? You start going, hey, fasting, hey. Not knowing that you put that on yourself. You put that on yourself. So that's why it is very important as a Christian girl, right, to know what you are putting on your body, what you are eating, what you are receiving from people. Because one thing I will say is that we live in a dark world. We live in a very, 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 very dark world. And one thing about the devil, he's going to do whatever he can to frustrate you as a person. But it is also important that you don't give him legal access to you, to your womb, to your brain, to your heart. Don't do anything that's going to give the devil legal access. But I think the important question is, as a Christian girl, should I be wearing waist beads? Wait. Now, for me personally, I can't wear waist beads just because of the amount of dreams I've had about it, right? And the spiritual significance it has, right? So when it comes to the relationship I have with God, I can't. Do you get me? But I do see specific Christian girls wear it, right? And it all depends, I will say this, it all depends on the relationship you have with Christ, and it depends on the discernment that God gives you, right? There are specific things that you can do as a Christian that may have no harm to you, right? And there are specific things as a Christian that you can do that are going to take you away from the presence of God, right? So if you really want to indulge into certain things, pray about it. Ask the Holy Spirit for guidance. Ask the Holy Spirit for direction. It is Him that's going to give you the direction, right? If you are going to decide to wear waist beads, make them yourself. Do you get me? Because you don't know the intentions that people have on you and your life, right? So really, if you are going to wear waist beads, pray over them. Another thing I will say is, if you wearing waist beads takes someone else away from the presence of God, then you shouldn't be wearing waist beads. If me wearing waist beads is going to lead someone else to sin, or lead someone else to go away from the presence of God, then I shouldn't be wearing waist beads, because we are all ambassadors of Christ. Do you get me? As a Christian, if you are going to decide to wear waist beads, be very specific about the waist beads you're going to wear, because there are specific waist beads that aren't meant for Christian girlies, unfortunately. Do you get me? Like, it is very important. It is very important to guard yourself. I think more than anything, one thing that Sangomas and Inyangas have really gotten really well, they've realized that this world is very spiritual. That's why they consult spirits and they do all these things to achieve something in the physical, because they understand that the spiritual realm is very powerful. And I think more than anything, it is important that as Christian people, we need to learn to tap into the spiritual realm, so that we start to change things in the physical realm. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video very informative, right? I hope that this video has helped you one way or the other. If you are new to this channel, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. From me to you guys, see you on my next video. Peace.